Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special bonus reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Aries, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find the information on my Buy Me a Coffee services and donations page, along with my official Instagram and TikTok in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Aries, I hope that you're doing well. This is a special bonus reading having to do with the dream messages from your spirit guides. What are they trying to communicate through your dreams? I don't know about you, but I've been having wackadoo dreams past 3 months, so I wonder if you have too. I'm going to be using 3 decks for your reading today: the Oracle of the Universe, the Human Spirit Oracle, and the Tarot of the Divine. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Okay, this card came out for Cancer, actually. Number 10, which corresponds to the Wheel of Fortune card in the Major Arcana, Jupiter energy, represents the planet of expansion, divine timing, good luck, and good fortune. It's wielding a lot of energy, a lot of gravitas, and the word is gratitude, Capricorn constellation. Gratitude. So Aries, are you feeling overwhelmed by something lately that has come in for you? You're feeling like boundless. See how this kind of goat, half fish, not sure. Yes, is just kind of jumping through this hoop here. It's like boundless energy, boundless gratitude. I just saw somebody get really overwhelmed by their gratitude. Like something might have happened recently where you were so thankful that you started crying. That's okay, you know? And sometimes I get really inspired by those videos that I see on Instagram or TikTok where somebody comes home, like from the military or just from traveling, and they see their families for the first time, and like they film their reactions, and it's just, you're overwhelmed with love and gratitude. Or, you know, when somebody gives a beautiful gift of, I mean, they're just really touching. And so that's what the Spirit showed me, things like that. That's why I said it. And it's beautiful energy. Gratitude, one of the highest vibrations. Highest vibration, in case you weren't sure, is authenticity, right? Authentic people resonate at the highest vibration, and it makes sense. It makes sense. So I'm going to get 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. There's no past, present, or future. It's just a general message of what your spirit guides want to tell you through your dreams. Okay. I knew that card was going to come out. When I shuffled the deck earlier, I flashed this one, the second card flashed, and I was like, oh, I wonder if Aries is going to get that. Okay, so now we're going to get the tarot, 3 cards. Whoa. fast forward. Didn't I tell you I saw crying? So the first card here is number 23 and the 5 of Cups. This card says eye to eye. So that's 5-5. So kind of amazing. Well, 5 equals 10, but 5 is a transitional number. It represents us having to deal with some kind of level of chaos or conflict or pondering, a little bit of back and forth about something. So let's start with eye to eye. We can see here there's some moth energy. There's a chess game being played. So it's kind of like you've met your match with something. You could have met someone who is your intellectual match, your emotional match. I feel like it's more intellectual. Or perhaps your psychic match, because now Spirit is really honing in on that moth. And there's a tarot reader that I love and will not miss a single one of her videos. And her name is San Tarot, and she's absolutely tremendous. She's probably will be my favorite tarot reader ever and ever. Amen. So she always refers to the moth energy as this kind of underworld psychic realm energies where it's like the hidden comes to light, but it has been hidden for a long, long time. So this could be latent gifts of yours, psychic gifts of yours coming to the surface. So it's really funny because there's some of the signs, and this is, you know, it all depends on what you have in other placements in your chart, right? But some signs are kind of known to have more of a proclivity towards psychic ability than others. We are all psychic and we are all able to access those realms. It's just where we choose to focus our attention, right? Where our attention goes, energy flows, as another amazing tarot reader, Baba Jolie, always says. So if you're choosing not to focus on your psychic ability and you're just like trying to live your daily life, then what your daily life is going to develop in such a way because you're putting your attention to it, right? So certain signs, like the water signs especially, we're built for this stuff. We're built to kind of just traverse those murky depths of weird and underworld and psychic things. But for you, this might be just like brand new territory, new terrain, new horizons opening up for you. And it's opening up for a lot of people right now. The consciousness of humanity is bursting open. It may not seem like it if you look at politics and policy and the wars around the world. You just think we're just going back into the dark ages, right? And yet there's this whole other contingent of people that are absolutely connecting in ways in their own life that they never dared do before. And somehow light workers are just being placed in certain situations where they're bringing it out, right? I often find myself, somebody did it for me. 2 people actually brought it out for me because I couldn't see it before. And now, because I'm conscious of it, and this is like the work that I do, I bring it out in other people. I want them to shine their unique and authentic light. Thank you, Spirit. I'm trying. But so you could be coming eye to eye or face to face with the reality of this for yourself. Now, Aries is represented in the tarot by the Emperor. Number 4 of the major arcana, divine masculine energy. The Emperor is like boss energy, CEO, just building empires, very much in control. So it's interesting that this chessboard is at the bottom, because there's always going to be a part of you that thinks about that aspect, that's the natural part of you that comes out, the one that is kind of looking at the board and the game and figuring out how you can strategize your way to the top, strategize your way to success. Is always going to be a part of who you are. And to that, some people would think, well, naturally, isn't that how everybody is? No, it's not. Some people don't care about stuff like that at all. It's not that people want to be failures in life, whatever, however you define that, but some people don't care about being in control. Some people don't like control in any way. So this, to me, I would say, like, this is in your wheelhouse. This is your bag. But this might be a little intimidating, because Aries, you tend to dominate. You're the first ones out of the gate in terms of the zodiac, so you're the trailblazers. So it's almost like when you meet somebody who is your equal, it can be kind of like, whoa, it can be a lot. Because then what happens, right, when we meet our equals in life? They lovingly challenge us. Maybe not so lovingly. Depends on who it is. They challenge us. You know, are you fulfilling your fullest potential? Because I can see what's going on here, because I see you, right? And then here you are like, no, you couldn't possibly see me. Turning away. Maybe causing a little bit of, you know, it's that gratitude energy again, though. You know, when I watch those videos, let's say it's one of those videos of somebody coming home from a stint in the military, right? What always tends to happen? The person, their mother and father, or their kids, or their spouse sees them, they're like shocked. They see them. What's the first thing they do? They might cover their eyes, start crying, and turn away. Because it's like they almost can't believe it. Or they're in shock, and it's sometimes too much to face. I just now noticed this hand here kind of grabbing onto her hair. A sense that we become overwhelmed, that it might actually pull us under. Pull us under. Five of Cups talks about needing a change of perspective. You know, there's a tendency in the card for the character to just see the spilled cups on the ground and not realizing that there's still 2 cups standing back here. In the tarot, the 2 of Cups represents divine partnership and also connection to your soul, your higher self. Maybe you're looking at your higher self for the first time, recognizing that you do have a soul, that soul speaks to you. Maybe they're trying to speak to you through your dreams. What are they wanting to say? And you're turning away because it's like scary. Like, you're grateful that they're there. You're grateful that you have this connection to the 5D, this consciousness that is essentially you. You're grateful, and yet it's totally scary. Like, what does this mean? 6 of Coins in the reverse, 6 of Pentacles. This is a card that usually talks about equal give and take. What we put out in the world, we get back in the world. You can see here, she's releasing this insect. And what's happening? It's almost like all the bugs are coming back towards her in gratitude. Six of Coins, equal give and take, but the card is in reverse. So what this tells me, now just, this is a very heady reading, but just take it as it resonates. It doesn't have to talk about your soul space or anything kind of like extra woo-woo, or like whatever. I mean, maybe you're just in a situation where you're, this is a situation that a lot of people find themselves in. They get into a romantic relationship and then they realize, I don't feel like I'm good enough for that person. Even though they're your equal. Somehow maybe you put them on a pedestal. They're so much smarter than me. I don't feel good enough for that person. I don't know if I can reciprocate what they give to me. So it's this sense of like not feeling like you have enough. It's really interesting because, so I have a lot of plants in my room, and, you know, unfortunately, sometimes I can't keep like the little gnats away or whatever because there's plants and soil everywhere, right? It's just, I'm used to it. It's not out of control or anything, but every once in a while I'll see like a tiny little white moth, and it literally just came out of nowhere. You didn't see it on camera, I don't think. It has shown up on camera before, or they have, because there are a couple in my apartment, but like it just kind of floated like seemingly off from my lap and like in this direction. So just it's like spirit giving me some kind of insider joke. Like, yeah, the moth energy is everywhere. It's a deep knowing too. It's a psychic awareness. Like if it was a relationship, it's like this awareness that you know this person is not some ordinary bub. Like they're special, and you might feel like they're too special, that you don't have enough to offer. You're so grateful that they're there, but it's like, who am I? Little old me? Why are you with me? I hate that. I know, Spirit, I hate it. I hate it. My twin flame said that to me, and God, I just wanted to, you know, that's the beginning of the end. Instead of just accepting the love, you just think, well, surely I don't deserve it, right? There's something like that is happening. You know, and it doesn't have to be a person. Maybe it's a job. Maybe you finally found the job that is worthy of your talents, gifts, skills, and abilities, but you think it's too good to be true. Like you kind of hesitate or crap out, right? Like you get a promotion and then you realize, oh my God, can I do this job? Like after the promotion's already been done. And I'll tell you, with my job, I walk into work every day and I'm just like, how did they give me this job? How did I get this job? I said that the other day. I always say it. Sometimes I say it for comic effect and sometimes I actually mean it. Now, I work really hard, so it's not like they didn't make a wrong decision. I don't think they didn't make a wrong decision. But at the same time, I'm like, sometimes I go in there and I just feel massive imposter syndrome. I hate feeling that way, but it's just like, oh, let me put on my goggles. Let's put on our goggles so people can't actually see how inept we are. These are just examples. Take it as it resonates. And then you have number 22 here, which reduces to a 4. The Emperor card, Aries, you showed up in your own reading. But it's so funny that it shows the wallflower. And you know what's so crazy too is that over here, when I said, you know, they couldn't just accept the love, that line very famously is in, what is it called? What is that movie called? That book? Confessions of a Wallflower? Diary of a Wallflower? Something of a Wallflower. Spirit, it would have been so much more effective if I could have remembered the name of that movie. It's also a book. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Thank you, Spirit. perks of being a wallflower. And the famous line that the actor says in that movie is, we accept the love we think we deserve. We accept the love we think we deserve instead of the love we actually deserve. Man, is true. It's a true statement. Right? So, again, it's just a beautiful synchronicity. But the wallflower suggests, here we are, like, just not, maybe not wanting to reveal that, not wanting to say anything, because we're just kind of surveying the land. Wallflower is a person who just recedes into the background. They don't make a lot of fuss. They don't stand out. Part of that is on purpose because they don't want to stand out. And part of that is just like, oh, I'd love to be a fly on the wall, that expression, where it's like, I'd love to hear all of the gossip or the conversation that is going to happen between these people, but I don't want to make it obvious that I'm listening. So there could be some situation where you're just listening to the murmurings around you. It's just like, what are people saying? What are people thinking? It is absolutely not like an Aries to want to blend into the background. But there could be some strategy to it, especially because it references the Emperor card. It's like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Number 20, to clarify that, the Judgment card, Major Arcana, talks about answering the call of spirit, making a decision to kind of follow our path, our blueprint. What are we supposed to do in this life? How do we get there? Bringing back something from the past. So when the Judgment card is in reverse, it's kind of like, sometimes I see it as feeling like you have no choice. Maybe you had no choice in this scenario. You just had to be kind of silent for a while. Especially if you're going against somebody that intimidates you. You might not want to show your hand. Page of Swords, the Hermit in reverse. Page of Swords is usually known as the little spy of the tarot. The Hermit, Major Arcana number 9, Virgo energy, talks about somebody who retreats into the wilderness, taking a step back to reassess oneself, to heal, to go through the dark night of the soul and spiritual ascension. That's a Major Arcana, big energy. So Spirit is, the sirens are coming through right in front of my window. Sirens are coming through. This is a very important message. You got these two cards in reverse. Oh, okay. The card of the Hermit in reverse says that, like, it's time now to step out of the shadows and into the light. We've learned all we're going to learn by ourselves, and now it's time to reach out. The Page of Swords in reverse, though, is that telling me there's hesitancy, that you're not even showing curiosity towards it. I think somebody has really, really done a number. I don't think you were like anticipating this kind of energy to enter into your life. Somebody really just throwing you off, throwing you for a loop. Right, but what's fun about it, and I'm coming to that, number 29, which reduces to an 11, Libra energy with the Justice card, head over heels. At the end of the day, this person that frustrates you. They may be a mystery. The Moon card, the Major Arcana, number 18. Pisces energy. Mysteries, illusion, confusion. Mysteries, illusion, confusion, absolutely. But at the end of the day, there is this sense that there's so much weird kind of admiration. I want to caution you though, because I feel as though like there might be this tendency to put somebody on a pedestal. So like if you're dreaming about this person or dreaming about some situation where you're lower, physically lower than someone, like everybody around you is a giant and you feel like you don't measure up, I want to caution you, or spirit rather, wants to caution you about that. Like we should never really put people on pedestals, because that's just inviting disappointment to come in, because people cannot live up to the idealizations that we make out in our minds. That's where that expression, like, never meet your heroes, comes from. And I've met some of my heroes, especially my musical heroes, and I would say 99% of them have been absolutely gracious and wonderful and really beautiful people. But then there's that like 1% where you're just like, wow, I wish that interaction had never happened, because what a bee or whatever, right? But then you realize, like, as you get older, it's just like people are human beings allowed to have human moments, and they don't need to answer to you or explain anything, right? So there's this, twisting and turning in this person's direction. There's this kind of weird coyness, but you are every bit their equal. And I'm really sticking to that. You're every bit on their level. And it's throwing you off because Aries, like, quite frankly, it's like people usually have to raise up to your level. And like, let's face it, they usually have to come meet you where you are, not the other way around. So for you to feel kind of vulnerable, I feel a lot of vulnerability in this reading. A lot. It could be really throwing you off. So just, I guess well, let's get some advice from Spirit. It doesn't matter what I think. Let's get some advice from Spirit. What's your advice? Two cards came out. Seven of Cups, Queen of Swords. Seven of Cups talks about being spoiled for choice and confusion. This is also confusion. Queen of Swords is like, let's get down to the bottom of things. Let's find out the truth. But these two cards almost oppose one another, because this is all about confusion. This is all about truth. But they're both in reverse. The Spirit is showing you're all sorts of turned around, but that's okay. It's okay. We need to take a little breather. We need to take a little breather. There needs to be some leveling of the playing field, right? To go back to this chessboard. They may have gotten some good first moves in there, but it's only because you were maybe not in the right mindset to play the game. Not that I'm talking about game playing, but just using it as a metaphor. You might not have had enough sleep to make the moves that you know that you're capable of making. So Spirit is kind of saying, like, really clean up this messiness, right, in your approach. Clean it all up. Look at things fairly and dispassionately. I think that on the path that I see now, things might get carried away. I mean, you're completely, by the end of this reading, you're like upside down. You're like willing to bend over backwards. And It's almost like Spirit is looking at you and saying, why? Because there's some part of you that is not expressing your fullest potential. I'm going to get one more card. Wow. Wow. You know, I was going to reference the Hanged Man, but I didn't say it out loud. And here it is, hanging upside down. You cannot make this up. I feel like this reading is all over the place, and I apologize. But what it like doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it makes sense to you, and it doesn't have to make sense to me. But like, I can't deny this. Like, this is bizarre. This is bizarre to me, these two cards together. They make perfect sense, but it's bizarre that it's showing up in your reading. Because, not bizarre in an amazing way, bizarre in a synchronous way. The Hanged Man is usually somebody who purposefully kind of gives themselves a timeout so that they can gain a perspective on something. But in your situation, I almost see it as if you were walking. It's like Indiana Jones. I know I always talk about Indiana Jones, but it's like Indiana Jones walking along a path, and he steps into like a rope, and somebody pulls on the rope, and zoop, he's like upside down, and he's like caught, and he's stuck, and you know, he has some funny one-liners. It doesn't feel unsafe. It just is so... It's like a little immature, or it's a little head in the clouds. I know this card came out in the reverse, but like, this is head in the clouds energy. Spirit just wants you to put things in perspective. That's all. That's all I'm saying right now. Like, I'm not saying that this person isn't showing themselves at face value, and yet there's this masking here. Just look at all the aspects of something in its totality before you dive head over heels. That's your reading, Aries. I don't know if that made sense. We're just going to go with it. Maybe some bits and pieces of it were there. I hope that it resonated, though. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Aries.